Hello YouTubers, yes, it's that time of the month again where we do the Showcase series where I show all the Doctor Who merchandise I collect each month. So to start off the DVDs, I'll do these in chronological order. So yeah, the first one is Black Orchid. It is an underrated story. I haven't really looked on any reviews of Black Orchid, so I don't really know why people don't like it, but I personally think it's a load of fun. It sparks to the Roaring Twenties, and I personally think it's just a fun story, and it can be quite dark with people getting strangled, but to me it's a really nice two-parter, one of my favourite two-parter Doctor Who stories. And with the next one, which is a box set, a very despised Doctor Who box set. Both of these stories are flat out absolutely hated, with the Tegan and Tales box set or Time Flight and the Arc of Infinity box set, but people do call it Tegan and Tales. But anyway, yes, it features Time Flight and Arc of Infinity, and if you don't know anyhow that Time Flight is a guilty pleasure of mine, it's because I just like it how bad it is, really. I just find so much enjoyment out of it. However, Arc of Infinity, it isn't good. Absolutely not. To me, it isn't. There's a bit of damage there, which is a shame. But to me, this isn't the worst box set ever, because I actually quite enjoyed Time Flight. But Arc is really bad in my opinion. Just try them out and see if you see it to be a guilty pleasure like mine, because you might like Time Flight, or hell, you might even like Arc of Infinity. But there are definitely better Fifth Doctor stories out there than Time Flight and Arc of Infinity. So yeah, with the next box set we have one which I'm not really a big fan of, to be honest. It's not very of a good trilogy in my own eyes, with the Black Guardian trilogy featuring Mawdryn Undead, Terminus and Enlightenment, which has a version of the special edition which I have not seen. I only watched the original. It is called the Black Guardian trilogy, but it's so disjointed from all of the storylines. Every one, he feels so disconnected to it, and to be honest, I don't even know why they call it the Black Guardian trilogy, since he has nothing to do with any of the plots in the story, rather than just making Turlough go crazy and do his dirty work to kill the Doctor. That's it. Very underwhelming box set in my opinion. However, with the storyline of Mawdryn Undead, I really do like Mawdryn Undead. It's a very good story. And Terminus, part 1's good, but it loses it. It's quite edgy story, but it just loses it. And Enlightenment, probably one of the most weirdest Doctor Who stories I've ever seen in my life. I'll explain more in a review, because I got quite a few things to slate at it, to be honest, but I personally think Enlightenment is a very bad story. In my own eyes, I think it's worse than Terminus. But yeah, one gem story, two crap stories. The other box set, which is in nice condition, which is the Chameleon Tales box set, featuring the King's Demons and Planet of Fire, which also comes with a special edition. I think this is the best Fifth Doctor box set, personally. Yeah, don't get frightened off because it has Chameleon on the box set with a creepy chameleon, but he actually is quite disjointed from the stories, and he doesn't really have too much of a purpose. I like both the stories. I think King's Demons is a nice fun story, and Planet of Fire is extremely enjoyable, even though it's quite Turlough heavy, which people will really be put off by, but they're both great stories. Definitely recommend this box set, absolutely. Yeah, probably give these two stories a 7 out of 10. It's a great box set. We have Frontios, which is a fantastic Fifth Doctor story. It's definitely up there, absolutely. I think the Tractators are brilliant monsters. So now we come to the Big Finish audio. So I'll do these chronological order, starting with the monthly range. So the first one, we have an 8th Doctor story, and I've almost got all the 8th Doctor stories from the monthly range, so that'll be good. I've only got 3 more than the Divergent Universe, Time Works, Absolution, and The Girl Who Never Was, and that's it. And that's quite sad. There's actually not a lot of 8th Doctor stories in the monthly range. But I haven't got many of his actual range audios, like his 8th Doctor Adventure. So yeah, for the first Big Finish, it is Memory Lane. People say it is very psychedelic in some places, and very original. So we just have to play my cards safe and see if I actually like the story. There's a load of people saying that the trailer isn't very good, but when you listen to it you say, wow, it's a lot better. Yeah, because personally the trailer didn't really get me hyped too much. I didn't really understand what was going on, really. But yeah, that's what psychedelic stories are like. You don't really know what's going on. But yeah, maybe this will be a gem to me, because there's a lot of people saying it's good. But yeah, this can go any other way to me. It's a dark horse one. I don't know what I'm going to expect from it. Yeah, that memory lane with the 8th Doctor, and it's giving him a nice ice cream. And next one we have a 7th Doctor one, another early one. I personally hate the 2007 covers. But anyway, we have Valhalla. You can see Jupiter and the Moon. It's by Mark Platt, who is, for a lot of people's eyes, a brilliant writer. I don't have too many of his stories. I have a few of his, and they've all been good so far. So yeah, I can tell Mark Platt is a good writer. And also, you can tell it features Michelle Gomez in this audio. Interesting. But yeah, Valhalla. And next one, which is one of these short trip sort of things, and it is 45, and this is the release chronologically before the Magic Mousetrap, so I decided to get this one anyhow. Yeah, the 4 short, like 25-30 minute stories in this are False Gods, Order of Simplicity, Casualties of War, which they've already done that name twice. That's one in season 5 of the Tom Baker Adventures, and The Word Lord. Yeah, people say this is one of the best like short trip sort of stories, so yeah, it's going to be very exciting, this one. I've only got a couple. I've got The Company of Friends and The Demons of Red Lodge. And for the next one, which is the most recent audio come out, and I've already reviewed it, and it is The Defectors by Nicholas Briggs. I'm actually going to change my rating on this because I was too generous in the review. I gave an 8. But no, I was too generous. I should have listened to my gut. In my mind, I was thinking 8 out of 10, but in my gut saying, no, go for 7.5, go for it. And yeah, it's a better one. I'm going for 7.5 more than 8 out of 10 because I rated it too high. And it didn't deserve that, so I'm not going to give it a 7, but I'm going to give it a 7.5. Because there were moments which I absolutely adore, but yeah, 7.5 I think is a more appropriate rating for it. But Defectors is no mean a bad story, it's just a little underwhelming. Next one we have 4th Doctor Adventures, which I've almost completed, which is absolutely fantastic. Then I can focus on another range with The Antimatter by Jonathan Morris. A load of people praise this story a lot, but there are others which think it's just not very good at all. But yeah, it's by Jonathan Morris, who is my favourite Big Finish writer, so I'm expecting it to be good, but I've heard it's light-hearted, one of these light Doctor Who stories where nothing brutally happens, and I personally like darker stories more, so I haven't really had a story where Jonathan Morris writes right. He's rather more of his bleak, no-hope writer. But yeah, it's going to be odd seeing him write light, because that's not really his style, but we'll have to see. And the next one, which is A Deathmatch by Matt Fitton. I have listened to this one, I was personally really looking forward to it. And lastly, I got another spin-off Doctor Who story. Yeah, just like Jago and Lightfoot, I am diving into the spin-offs of Doctor Who, or the worlds of Doctor Who should it be called. And what I got is Gallifrey Interventions Earth. And I do adore this cover art by Tom Webster. It's absolutely beautiful, it is. Yeah, it's a fantastic cover art with brilliant Omega on the cover art, looking absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to look forward to get into this range, Gallifrey. This is a reboot, or the revival of the series, where it ended with a Dalek release or something like that, and then they rebooted the series. So I could have get this anyway, because it doesn't really chronologically follow in from those ones, so I could just get this and don't have to get the previous ones. So I just decided to get it. But I have heard like the previous ones are more stronger than this one, but I think this would be a good starting point. And if I enjoy the Gallifrey series, then I would definitely dive into it, because I am interested in it. So now we have books now, started with a Virgin Missing Adventures release with The State of Change, which is a 6th Doctor and Perry story featuring The Rani by Christopher Bullis. Yeah, I got it for very cheap. It's not a rare book at all. I mean, the story really intrigues me about Romans that's technologically advanced. And yeah, that is The State of Change. And for the next book, we got a Big Finish short trip, which is one of the more easier ones to get, or probably the easiest one, which is 7 Deadly Sins. If you want to get a Big Finish short trip, I know some of them are like golds, they are. This one is definitely the easiest to get, and if you want to at least get one, then get this one, because I've read of a couple of stories in this, and they're actually quite fun. But yeah, I also had another one of these, which got lost in the post, and I was really annoyed about it, which was Transmissions, which is one of the more rarer ones, so I was a bit disappointed about that. But yeah, Seven Deadly Sins. It's quite a more thinner one than the other ones. I got quite a few Big Finish short trips. I've got two common ones of Seven Deadly Sins and Life Science. I've got one rare one, Farewells, and I got two very difficult ones to get, which is the Christmas Treasury and the History of Christmas. I do enjoy these short trip books. And finally, to end the showcase off, we got one more book to show, which is a 50th anniversary book re-release of a BBC book known as 10 Little Aliens, which is the first Doctor one, very similar to the Daleks Master Band picture. Well, actually, it's just the same, but I haven't read it yet, but I've heard it's not very good, which I was quite surprised, because actually the black blurb really intrigued me, and I've also heard it's actually quite gory for a Doctor Who book, and I was personally going to see it would be comedy in it, because 10 Little Aliens, it just sounds not like a violent name, it just sounds like it would be some good comedy by Stephen Cole, but no, I've heard it's a little bit more brutal, gritty, and a bit bloody, so we'll just have to see about it. I will obviously give it a read, because I've only read one 50th anniversary book, which is The Silent Stars Go By, and personally I didn't find it very good, but hopefully this one will be better than it.